Well, it is Saturday morning when we are filming this. You're not going to see it it's today when you're watching it, but for us, it's Saturday. And we have a fun Easter tradition that we want to share with you. And today we are going to not only clean up this kitchen because, y'all, it needs some work, but we are going to make a couple of dishes for our fun Easter tradition. Do you want to tell them what it is?
What?
What do we do? What are we going to do tomorrow at church?
We are going to have a Passover.
We are going to have a Passover Seder. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the grocery store. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hello friends, I'm Mary Beth with At What Cost, where simple living and deep faith go hand in hand. And unfortunately, I lost my kitchen buddy pretty early on in the process here. We have been to the grocery store. I've gotten all of the things that I needed here and a few extras. But right now, what I'm going to focus on are three main dishes. The first is a matzo ball soup. And so I'm going to roast some chicken thighs. I'll go through kind of the process of making my soup. I'm not actually going to make the matzo balls until tomorrow and cook them right before we go to church. The other two items that I'm going to bring, I am going to make ahead. So we're making a flourless chocolate cake with a chocolate ganache, and we're going to make harisset, which is one of the traditional elements in the Passover Seder. It actually is meant to represent the mortar of the bricks that the Hebrew people would have used while they were enslaved in Egypt. And so it's very sweet. It's actually really easy to do, and it tastes delicious. So I'm going to take you along as I clean up my kitchen here. You can see it has collected some things over the week, and it really needs to be cleaned up before we do anything else. So I'm gonna clean up the kitchen, and then I'm gonna get started on all of these dishes. Going to start on my 2.5 pounds of bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, and I'm going to season these pretty heavily. I'll use these in my soup base after they're done roasting. So once they're finished, I'll let them cool. I'll put them in the refrigerator overnight, and then tomorrow when I make the rest of my soup, I'll pull them out, put them in the broth to flavor them, to warm the meat up so that it's a little easier to handle when I take it off the bone, and it will actually season my soup base really well so that I can add my chicken, and then I'll also do sliced carrots, sliced celery, and eventually then I'll cook the matzo balls in that same broth. These are going to roast at 375 for a good 30 minutes or so until they're done. So the kitchen is clean and I just got the chicken in the oven to roast. I'm kind of doing that low and slow because I really want to render out the fat and be able to use that in my matzo balls. So now I'm going to take a little break, make the kids some lunch, get them set up, and then I am going to get started on my harsat. I think what I enjoy most about our Christian Passover Seder is the way that the Old Testament, Bible history, and the gospel of Jesus Christ come together in such a physical and tangible way. Our kids are able to understand more about the gospel and communion, the meaning behind those things. And we really enjoy the fellowship that we have when we're all together with our church family, eating good food and having such a good time of fellowship. It certainly has become one of our favorite Easter traditions here in our home. So obviously the food processor was kind of a fail when it came to the harsat. So I ended up taking out the larger pieces, chopping them, and then kind of mixed it all together. And because I don't have any matzah to actually test this out with, I tasted it with a spoon and it tastes okay. But I'm gonna put some on a saltine cracker and see how that goes. I also have an official taste tester.
It's really good.
It
What?
almost seems dry. You know, like a wine is dry.
It's supposed to have wine in it, but I did grape juice instead. Well, it's supposed to be
I thought wine.
a certain wine.
Not Riesling.
No, it's not a Riesling. It's not Moscato. I got totally sidetracked helping my son with his reading this weekend and forgot to turn the camera on as I started my flourless chocolate cake. Now, as you can see, this comes together pretty easily. I didn't even use a hand mixer for it. It basically has all of the ingredients that you would put in a regular chocolate cake minus the flour. So although I would not count this as a healthy dessert, it certainly would be gluten-free. And in case you've never had a flourless chocolate cake, it tastes like the best brownie you have ever put in your mouth. They're so good. That's it for our flourless chocolate cake. I'm just smoothing my ganache out here, getting it all nice and shiny, and my kids are dying to try this harsat. So let's dive in. Should we do, I'll have to do a taste test for the camera?
Hmm?
Okay.
has all the church friends that come over here and they eat some of those.
Our church friends are not going to come here. We're going to go to church and have it at church.
At church and eat it.
Yeah, with all of our Sunday school friends. Did you just eat some of that frosting?
It's good. I didn't eat this.
Okay.
Oh, it's really good.
Do you want to try some harset on it?
Guys, do you want to try some?
Hey,
Yeah, please.
don't eat it over the cake. Can I have your cracker?
I won't put that on the sides. I promise. I'll be careful.
Yeah. Is it good? Okay. Getting up and say hi. Come on. Was you been a good boy? Yes. Yes. Oh, best friend. Yeah. Yeah, you make your debut. This is Gunner. Gunner is a GSP. It's a German short-haired pointer. He is the best dog, and he goes in and out of our door at least 20 times every day. Yeah, you cute little doggy nose. All right, get down.
I'm done kicking.
Get down. He sees this chocolate cake. It is smelling so good in this house. I got all of my chicken roasted. I'm gonna finish up the matzo ball soup tomorrow between our church service and when we actually have our Passover Seder so that it is good and fresh. And I got my flourless chocolate cake done and it is looking so good with that nice shiny, like, oh, it looks so good. I would love to know if you have any traditions in your family for Easter or whether or not you do observe Passover. Like I said in the beginning of this video, it's kind of been a new thing for us, but we have really enjoyed the meaning behind it and the interaction that our kids get and just really anticipating that second coming of Christ. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next one.